Let's make our custom recipe type serializable. Let's see. If you want to go deeper, the 26.x modding courses are linked down below. 30 plus hours covering complex block entities with fluid and energy handling, custom mobs, custom networking, and even custom biomes and dimensions. Everything you need for 26.x, all in one place, linked down below in the description. Alright, we found some back and more, and in this tutorial, we're making our custom recipe type of our block entity serializable via Datagen, meaning that we're going to be basically able to use Datagen, meaning the mod recipe provider over here, and simply add recipes via this to our custom block entity. That's gonna be really cool, and let's take a look. It's one singular class, super straightforward, and you'll say, you know what, that is like absolutely worth it. In the Datagen package, we're gonna make a new package called recipe. It's gonna be for all of our custom recipe types, and then this is gonna be crystallizer recipe builder over here. There we go. This will implement the recipe builder interface over here, where we'll hover over this to implement the couple of methods that we need, and there we go. Now, you'll find this is way more straightforward than you might think. You need, in essence, always 5 different fields. They might differ sometimes, but they're going to be broadly the same. I'll copy those over and I will explain. We're going to get a bunch of errors because, these are final fields and we haven't assigned them. Do not worry. Let's just go through each one of them one by one. So the recipe category right here, that's, well, going to be the recipe category, right? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, right? One of those, there you go. Okay. Then we have a result. This is the output of your recipe, and then the ingredient, which is the input. Note, of course, that in our purposes, we have one input, meaning one ingredient right here, right? And one output, one item stack template. If you have a recipe that's different, obviously this would be different, right? I don't know if I have to make this any more clear. Obviously, this would then be different, and you'll actually see that your choice of recipe, right, via the custom recipe right here, that's going to shape what this is going to look like. You'll see that in a sec. Regardless, this is basically always what we need in the category. Whatever we have as an output, whatever we have as inputs. If, for example, you would have an integer, right? Oh, this is how much storage you need, or rather, this is how much energy you need, things like that. And obviously, that would be an input as well, right? An integer or whatever you might have. Then we have a recipe unlock advanced builder. This is also always going to be the case. And then a string group over here, which is also basically always going to be the case. We'll then have a private crystallizer recipe builder over here as its constructor, and that is going to be private. And it is actually correct. We need a category, an ingredient, and a result. Absolutely fantastic. So basically, that's exactly how this is going to be built over here. However, to make this, we're going to use some static methods. So we're going to make a public static. It's going to be returning a crystallizer recipe builder, and we'll call this, you can call this builder or whatever you want, but we're going to do crystallizer recipe over here. I think that's okay. And this is going to take in a recipe category. So recipe category, an ingredient, and a, that's not quite right. I actually don't want an item stack template. I actually want to put in an item like over here. There's going to be the result over here, result, and then an int count. That's going to be our first recipe over here, static method. Of course, as always, check down the description below for all of the code. This is going to return a new crystallizer recipe with the category, the ingredient. Then we'll make in a new item stack template with the result.asItem and passing in the count. And then we just duplicate this over here. We remove the count right here, and we remove the count right here. And all of a sudden, we have 2 very straightforward static methods that we can call very easy. The next methods are as easy as the one before. Unlocked by will simply return this, and because this is a builder pattern over here, and we're going to do the following. I'm going to say advancement builder, unlocked by name and criterion is exactly right. And in the group, we're going to also return this. And here we're going to say this side group is equal to group. So once again, super straightforward. Finally, the default ID is going to return the recipe builder. So this is recipe builder dot get default recipe ID with our result. So this is basically the reason why inside of our recipe provider right here, where we sometimes, at the very beginning over here, I said, oh, you should do like Azurite from Blaze Powder, because as its default, it always makes the JSON file named after whatever the output is. And this is exactly what we define right here, right? In theory, you could change this as well, but I think this is totally fine. Finally, we have the save method, which is very important. And this is the point, because here we need to make a new crystallizer recipe. So you will have to make a new crystallizer recipe right here. That means you will have to give it an ingredient and a result. Or if your custom crystallizer recipe all of a sudden needs a floating point number and an integer and a I don't even know, moon phase, whatever you want to put in there, then you have to define this here as well. So this ingredient, this result. But like I said, if your custom recipe is different, meaning it has different parameters in its record, then obviously you have to get them and take them inside of this particular class. That's the whole idea. Finally, output.accept, passing in the location. I really don't like the fact that it's called location. Let's rename this to ID. I think ID is a little bit more sensible. ID, recipe, then this.advancementbuilder.build, passing in the output again, passing in the ID again, and passing in this category. And just like that, boom, that is it. That is the entire class. Like I said, obviously specific for our example right here. If you have a different recipe, then obviously it's going to look different, right? If it's not one input, one output, it's going to look different. If it is one input, one output, it's going to be the exact same thing. It's basically going to look, I mean, pretty much I would say one-to-one this. Just with the difference, of course, being that this is now a crystallizer, like a different type of recipe. But yeah, the rest over here stays the same. There is a theory, or in theory, you could probably somehow make this a generic where you basically just give it the type of recipe that you could make right here. But I personally don't want to do that. If you have like, I don't know, 18 different machines, 20 different machines, there's a point in maybe doing that and not having 20 of those classes that are the exact same. But in our case, this is totally fine. Now, using this is as easy as going to our mod recipe provider over here and just using it. For the purposes of this, I will just copy over the different examples, but you will find that it is really not complicated. We're calling the crystallizer recipe method right here, and then we're giving it a category. We're giving it the input. We're giving it the output and a count or not. That's fine. And then we call the unlocked by, as this is a builder. And then finally, the save method. And we're always giving it a name. I highly recommend you always give it a custom name with your mod ID right here. So mod ID, then colon, and then whatever the name is. Here, I add the from crystallizing at the end. In theory, you could make another method that, that does that and deals with that. But, in this case, you're probably not going to have, I don't know, if you have 10,000 recipes, I guess then you just need to, you're going to need to like do some automation on that anyway. So you should probably be fine. Generally speaking though, that's the idea. Those are the 4 recipes that we've already had. And just for the sake of argument, let's add another one because I do think that might make sense. So let's say we put in redstone, and what are we going to get out? I don't even know. Rice shoot? That doesn't make any sense. A data tablet. I actually really like. Yeah, that's a really good idea. So we're going to say, hey, if we have redstone right here, then we're going to get out a data tablet. So we're going to say data tablet from crystallizing. Does it make sense? Probably not, but generally speaking, it's still an interesting recipe nonetheless. When we have this, of course, we want to delete our recipes. I highly recommend you don't just delete them outright. You move them first and then, make sure that this is fine. If you have nothing else in your data folder, right? Like we just had this in our data folder, we can delete the data folder. If you have something else in there, obviously double check, then only delete the recipes that we've made right here. I can delete the data folder, but double check that you don't have anything else in there. I wanted to just double check it just in case, because you're going to be like, oh, I could just delete it. Boop, boop, boop. All of a sudden you're like, oh, my stuff is gone. I told you that you should look at it. But there we go. That's going to be the 5 different recipes. Let's then run the Datagen on this, and you'll find that those JSON files are now going to be generated under data tutorial recipe. And there we have it. So we have the Azure from crystallizing and all of the other ones over here, including, for example, the data tablet right here. Boom. They look exactly the same. So now let's jump into the game and see if it recipes. Alright, found them back in Minecraft. First of all, you can see that these still are cooking right here. So those are still going. Every single one of those are still working. And then this one, boom, will also work. Look at this. This is going to be a redstone dust, 2, exactly a data tablet. And because it doesn't stack, it will only create 1 and then stop. So we can take this out, boom, and it's going to continue. Absolute cinema, and that is absolute crafting. There we go. Datagen for our recipe type. Nice. As always, all of the code is available to you down below, but that's going to be it for this tutorial right here. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the support on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. Don't forget, if you join as a Stonebricks member on YouTube, you can get up to 40 days of early access, including this video right here. We'll add GI compatibility. Hope to see you there. So, yeah.